What YouTube? It's a nice saying here back with another video. This video is gonna be about, I guess it's gonna be my origin story. I don't know, I just feel like doing something. I haven't made a video in like a week or so. And like I said, I was taking a break trying to handle some business. So it's gonna be the first video back. Where I'm trying to just catch a stride. Like I said, I was really taking notes about how I was making videos and trying to stay focused and making sure I'm not doing anything, trying to make sure my quality getting better, like progressing instead of just doing the same thing over and over again. So here I am, but this video is gonna be about my origin story, just about my personal, not my personal life, but my personal life, but it's not gonna be like very personal. It's just gonna be about how I got to where I am now. Just more about what it's gonna be about. So yeah. Like I said, his family watched this video, y'all already know. Like I said, my name Kevin. Like I said, I ain't gonna give you my last name. Y'all might research for that. Child of 10 kids. Born to a smart mother and a goofy father. Father wasn't in the household as much. My mom was always working. So as a growing up, I was very much like a kid that was always in my own space. I was never really I wasn't outside a lot. Extremely sensitive, extremely creative. Like I said, I loved to draw when I was a kid. I don't know what happened that caused me to stop, but I think it was just work. And I think I started working. I started worrying about the wrong stuff. So I ended up stopping. But I was always loved to draw when I was a kid. I loved playing video games. I just love being in my own space. I think I always been a natural like introverted at heart. I understand now I can't be introvert. Like I said, I can, but like I said, I have to. In a way, I have to put on the mask now to go live throughout my day to day. Like it's like I have to pull out something out of my personality so I can be more extroverted and just to maneuver, But growing up, I was always shy, and I still am shy. Like I don't like being around people as much. Like I said, I got my girlfriend. I like to stay to myself. Like I said, and that really took a toll on my sociability. Like growing up, like as a kid, like it was very hard for me to make friends. It's hard for me to even keep a group of people around me. I didn't notice that till like high school, where like I said, people didn't really, well, I didn't think people really liked me for who I was. And it's not like I was pretty much like a people pleaser, I grew up in a household where, like I said, I felt the responsibility of being an adult very young. Like I said, it's like, I remember being like, I think, like I said, it's always bad when kids know what's going on, like what family situations, like, not family situations, but like how people living, like, I remember struggling like as a kid. I'm like, damn, why do we live like this? And I was like so hyper aware of it. And I don't, like I said, me looking back, I never thought that I was. Like I said, I was worried about I was worried about all types of other stuff. I wasn't really worried about like, our living situation, just cause like I said, realistically, as a kid, kids, they mind hop from thing to thing. So when I was that age, I was just worrying about the game. But like I said, it's like something that I noticed on the side. And growing up, that type of stuff like really melted inside my personality with just trying to figure out like, dang, like fixing like family situations and just trying to make a change for my family and just want to be there for my family. And I think that shaped me, partially shaped me into the person I am now. I'm always trying to help people, and of course, there's a fault to that. If you're always trying to help somebody, you can't really help yourself, especially if yourself not in order. So that's the lesson I'm learning right now, just because always helping somebody else is never going to really allow you to help yourself. But also, like I said, the fact that you help other people, people are going to be ungrateful for it. And you can't be mad that people are ungrateful. And like I said, they don't, I wouldn't even say appreciate, but it's like aware that you help them. Like I said, you do everything for them. Not do everything for them, but you go out your way to do things for other people. And they don't understand that and they don't mind, Like I said, it's always bottom line for them. And like I said, like me, I'll go my way for a lot of people. And like I said, it's not like it's a bad thing, but you got to understand it's a line that you got to draw so that you don't overextend yourself. Like me, I'm a natural overextender. Like earlier, like my natural, like a lot of things that I grew up with, like the people pleasing thing and overly extending myself and overly caring about situations and people has caused like me a lot of pain in the sense of not wanting to see people suffer more than what they have to do. like more than what they have to, and oftentimes more than not, it caused me to suffer more pain along with them. And of course, that's sad to see, but like I said, at the end of the day, you got to learn how to discern and, like I said, separate yourself. And also, we're just take yourself for granted. Like I think you need to start. I had to start taking better care of myself. But also, just growing up, I was just always hopeful. That's one thing I can say. One of the positive traits I did have growing up was being very hopeful for the future. I never really thought I had a negative future coming my way. My mom, one thing I can't say about my mom is that she always put hope inside of people. But of course, like I said, hope is not always good. I think it's always good to have hope and faith. But of course, some people, realistically, like I said, hope ain't gonna pay the bills. I think that's the honest and true way to think about it. It's that having all this faith and hope and all this stuff, like I said, it's only part of the plan. Like I said, you have to put work in to make your dreams happen. And for the longest time, me growing up, I didn't understand that. I didn't understand that you have to actually do work, because even in school, I was very mediocre. Like I said, if I can get a 3.5 all year, I'm going to do that. But I'm not going to try to go for the 4.0. I'm not going to push my limits and do my best so I can really, excel. I did the bare minimum, so I didn't have to barely, do as best as I could. Like I was always doing less than I know I should have been doing, just because I was lazy to an extent. And like I said, I didn't learn that lesson until as recently, like the past year, that like without hard work, you're never really gonna truly be able to accomplish your dreams. Like constantly dreaming is gonna leave dreams as dreams and not as like realities. So I had to understand that. I had to get that fundamental understanding that if I don't ever work to really put my dreams into action, like I said, I'm gonna be in the same position I am. Also, I think what a problem with just young men now is, like I said, it's not really examples of men outside. So a lot of young boys or young boys and young males, they don't know how to be a man, and I think that's another thing that took a toll on me as well. I was always so much of a. There's nothing wrong with being sensitive. I think that with me, I had to learn how to work around my sensitiveness to turn into like a strength. So one thing about me is I'm just very naturally observant of a person. Like I said, I can't be around people too long. Like I said, if I'm around you too long, I'm bound to observe you and analyze you. And like I said, of course, I know that's not necessarily good, but it's very like as a response to always being in an environment where you always have to stay on point. That's one thing I can say, is that I've grown to a point where I had to always observe people. It's because you just never know. And of course, I still fail to, notice something or observe something, just because, like I said, I'm only 20. I think I try to give myself as much leeway as I can with my age, because like I said, I think that a lot of people nowadays, they get too arrogant and cocky about their age, and their age don't mean nothing at the end of the day, like I said, if you're stupid at 10, you're stupid at 20. You're stupid at 20, you're stupid at 40, you're stupid at 40, you're stupid at 60, like I said, all that age, it don't matter. But at the same time, like I said, people, if you're 60, like I said, of course you haven't done everything right, but you know what's definitely wrong and what you shouldn't do. So that's where my line is, with just wisdom and just knowledge, But yeah, I grew up very shy. I grew up very sheltered. I grew up very shut off from people. I grew up very neglected. I grew up very just lacking. Like, of course, like I said, everybody lacks. Everybody lacking something, and I think that's why I'm on this path I am on now. Like, I think I have a hard time accepting myself. I think that's one thing I have to really get like under wraps, is that I am who I am. Like I said, I can't. Well, of course, there's things you can change about yourself, but some things no matter how hard you try, you just won't be able to change it, because that's just who you are. in your being, and that's why I say it is what it is. And of course, if those things not keeping you from doing, like, you know, the best that you can, then, like I said, forget about it, you know? Like I said, if it's stopping you from doing what you got to do, then like I said, you got to fix it. But if it's not, then it is what it is. Like me, I'm a naturally goofy person. And whether I like it or not, that's not a part of me. That's part of my whole family. It's part of my father. Every time I go to see my father, and like I said, I come in as an adult, and I don't come as this, well, I try not to come as a kid or emotional kid. I try to come as an adult. I see that a lot of these traits that I got is from my father or just my mother. It's like it's something that you just got to understand and accept. Like at the end of the day, like even with parents, you got to understand that your parents is people too, and like I said, they go through their own things, and you can't fault them for their mistakes that they made. But especially if they willing to, you know, apologize and make up for it, you should always accept them back, because that's just the right thing to do. And of course, you don't got to, but like I said, I about to say, hold on to hate and negativity, and ain't doing nothing wrong. It ain't doing nothing but hurting you. So, like I said, the choice is really yours. But yeah, ultimately, I think growing up, I was always hopeful and always wanted the best for my own life. I didn't want the best. I wanted to be someone. I think I was always looking for validation. I was looking for validation in people. I mean, everybody looks for validation, but I was looking for validation when people accepted me. And at the end of the day, I knew that. Well, I know now that, like I said, it don't matter that people accept you or not. Like I said, do you really accept yourself for what you are and who you are? Because at the end of the day, you know, when you go to sleep at night, all you really got is yourself, and you worry about other people. Like I said, what other people think about you is none of your business. And if people like you, they like you, and if they don't, they don't. And like I said, it's just something that you got to live with. And it's always been something I had a hard time dealing with, just because of how I grew up. You know, still to this day, it's like every time I figure out that, like every time I make progress forward, well, I make progress like when improving, I always see that it's another area where, like, I'm still, let's say, still something like people please or something, like, and like I said, I think just getting better is like a journey, and like I said, you just always have to be on top of it, and you can't never let up on it, you know. Excuse me. Like, you always have to be constantly aware of what's going on in your mental and your mind. Now, of course, like I said, you won't ever initially, you know, it's gonna take time to really learn and understand yourself and understand at least your subconscious and what it's trying to tell you. Like me, like I keep a dream journal just to, you know, watch my dreams and see what's going on. But yeah, ultimately, you know, it takes time. A lot of shit just take time is what I'm understanding. It's that you can't really beat yourself over the head about it. So yeah. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you.